Here, I will make a clothing motif from leaves, because there is one secret that you may not have known about the secret that I will make, and you will definitely be amazed by this discovery. The first step is to pick the leaves, but of course, I won't just pick any leaves. I'll look for fresh leaves, not too old and not too young, because that's the secret. Fresh leaves have stronger fibers and veins, which will result in a much clearer pattern. Moving on to the next step, I've prepared a white plastic sheet that I'll use as a base and protector to ensure the process runs smoothly. The white plastic sheet is there for a reason. It helps us see the leaf's position more clearly and ensures the pattern will be printed perfectly without shifting. Next, I've prepared the leaves I picked earlier. Notice their shape and texture. The fibers are clearly visible and the veins are very distinct. This will be the key to the beauty of the pattern. I arranged these leaves on the white plastic I'd prepared earlier, and at this stage, I had to be very meticulous in arranging them. Next, I placed white plastic over the fabric to prevent damage during the beating process, which I'll be using as a pattern. This plastic acts as a protective layer and helps keep the leaves stable when pressed. Next, I have a hammer in my hand that I'll use for the beating process. However, I won't be hitting it with the end of the hammer, as that could damage the fabric and cause the fibers to tear. Instead, I'll use the rubber handle of the hammer. Moving on to the beating process, I begin by hitting it slowly and leisurely to achieve optimal results. I take my time, as the key to this technique is patience and consistent pressure. I hit each section of the leaf evenly, ensuring that the entire surface, especially the veins and fibers, receive sufficient pressure. I work in stages, from the tip to the base of the leaf, so the natural pigments can adhere perfectly to the fabric. This is where the seemingly simple process becomes the most crucial step, as with each stroke, the details of the motif begin to transfer, forming a unique natural pattern. Little by little, the secrets I mentioned earlier begin to be revealed, and the end result will truly amaze you with the beauty of this work created from just leaves and simple techniques. Here, the shape of the leaf we've been hammering is starting to become clearer, although not all of it is perfectly formed yet. Some areas already show the beautiful details of the leaf veins, while others are still faint. Well, this is a sign that we're not done yet. I'll continue hammering, maintaining a relaxed and even pressure, focusing on the areas that are still less visible. I ensured that every corner of the leaf received the same treatment to ensure the final result was truly optimal. Slowly but surely, this natural motif became more and more vivid on the fabric, and it became increasingly clear that this simple leaf was capable of producing a unique, detailed pattern that no machine could replicate. Moving on, the top part of the motif is now very clearly visible. The leaf vein details are clearly and neatly printed. Now the bottom part is still slightly visible and not yet fully developed. At this stage, I'll focus more on that area, applying slightly more even but controlled pressure. I didn't want to be too harsh, as this could result in a wider or less precise result. I slowly smoothed the strokes across the bottom, ensuring that each leaf fiber thoroughly adhered its pigment to the fabric. The longer I did this, the fainter areas began to transform into a coherent pattern, blending perfectly from top to bottom. Moving on, since almost everything is now clearly visible, now we're left with the tips of the leaves, which are still a bit faint and not yet fully visible. At this stage, I need to be more careful, as the tips are usually thinner and can shift easily. I'll apply lighter but consistent pressure, focusing precisely on the areas that aren't yet sharp. And it's at this point that the results truly begin to take shape. From base to tip, the natural motif is fully imprinted, revealing the beauty of the pattern previously hidden within the leaf. It's a truly remarkable feeling to see something so simple transform into such an aesthetic and unique work. Moving on, I'll now open the plastic wrap, as the beating process is now complete. I slowly lifted the white plastic layer, filled with curiosity, and at this moment, everything clicked. When the plastic was removed, the results were truly astonishing. Next, I prepared clean water, which I would later mix with alum. Many people don't know this, but this is one of the key secrets. The alum acts as a natural color lock, preventing the printed leaf motif from fading and maintaining its durability on the fabric. I poured enough water into a container, then slowly added the alum and stirred until it was completely dissolved. This process seems simple, but it actually determines the durability of our final product. Once the solution is ready, I'll soak the leaf-patterned fabric in it to enhance the natural color and blend it into the fabric's fibers. And this is where this simple process transforms into a technique that's not only creative, but also produces more durable and professional-looking work. Moving on to the next step, I'll dip the fabric with the leaf motif into the water mixed with alum. I'll dip it slowly so that the entire fabric is completely submerged, and the solution can penetrate to the deepest fibers. This is where the color locking process comes into play. The alum solution helps bind the natural pigments of the leaves so the motif won't fade easily when washed. I let it set for a few moments to achieve optimal results, making sure the fabric wasn't folded to ensure the colors were evenly locked in. Gradually, I saw the pattern blending into the fabric, and the colors became more vibrant and stable. This step might not seem dramatic, but it's the secret to making the final result not only beautiful, but also long-lasting and worthy of wearing with pride. I slowly lifted the cloth from the alum solution. Then I squeezed it gently without twisting it too hard so that the motif remained safe and not damaged. Now I'll wash it with clean water. This process is important to remove any remaining alum solution and ensure that any unlocked colors are completely removed. I rinse gently without scrubbing too hard so that the printed leaf motif remains intact. The flowing water carries away any excess pigment, while the main motif remains firmly embedded in the fabric fibers. This is often a moment of nervousness, as we wait to see if the results will truly last. Now, I'll let it dry for a while to get the best results. I'll spread the fabric neatly in a spot that gets enough wind and sunlight, not too long and not too hot. Slowly, as the fabric begins to dry, the leaf motif we created becomes more defined and blends seamlessly with the fabric's fibers. This is when the final result truly becomes apparent. A unique, natural pattern, crisp details from base to tip, and colors that have been perfectly locked in.